Somaliland, a nation that exists, but is not officially recognized by most of the world. For over 3 decades, this self-declared republic in the Horn of Africa has built a functioning democracy, maintained peace, and developed a booming economy, all without a seat at the United Nations. This is the story of Somaliland's political rise and its extraordinary potential. The roots of Somaliland's independence stretch back to 1960, when the former British protectorate briefly existed as a sovereign state before voluntarily merging with Italian-administered southern Somalia to form the Somali Republic. That union proved catastrophic. Power concentrated in Mogadishu, and northern communities were systematically marginalized. In the late 1980s, the military dictatorship of Siad Barre launched a brutal campaign against the north, killing tens of thousands and reducing cities like Hargeisa to rubble. When Somalia's central government collapsed in 1991, Somaliland declared independence, not as a new secession, but as a withdrawal from a failed union. While the rest of Somalia descended into decades of civil war, Somaliland took a different path. Through grassroots reconciliation, it disarmed militias, blended traditional clan-based governance with modern democratic institutions, and built a functioning state from the ground up. Today, Somaliland stands as one of Africa's most remarkable democratic success stories. It holds regular, competitive multi-party elections with peaceful transfers of power, a rarity in the Horn of Africa. Its bicameral parliament incorporates the Gurti, a house of elders that ensures traditional clan structures remain part of the governance framework. In the 2024 presidential election, the opposition candidate won decisively with 64% of the vote, and the incumbent peacefully conceded, a testament to Somaliland's deepening democratic culture. Somaliland's economic story is being rewritten by the port of Berbera, situated on the Gulf of Aden near the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, one of the world's most critical maritime trade routes. The port has been transformed by a $442 million investment from DP World. In 2024 alone, the port and its economic zone supported nearly 2,500 jobs and added $45 million to Somaliland's economy. By 2035, Berbera is projected to facilitate trade equivalent to 27% of Somaliland's entire GDP. The port's greatest opportunity lies in its relationship with Ethiopia, a landlocked nation of 135 million people that has historically relied almost entirely on Djibouti for its trade. In January 2024, Ethiopia and Somaliland signed a historic Memorandum of Understanding, granting Ethiopia sea access in exchange for investment and a promise of potential recognition. By 2035, Berbera Port is expected to support 1.2 million jobs in the Ethiopian economy alone. A transformative partnership reshaping the Horn of Africa. Somaliland's geography makes it one of the most strategically valuable pieces of real estate on Earth. It sits directly across the Gulf of Aden from Yemen, flanking the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, the choke point through which 12% of global trade passes. With Iranian-backed Houthi rebels disrupting Red Sea shipping, global powers are scrambling for a foothold in this critical corridor. Somaliland has emerged as the most stable and willing partner in the region. In December 2025, Israel made history by becoming the first United Nations member state to formally recognize Somaliland as an independent and sovereign state. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Somaliland President Abdurrahman Mohammed Abdullahi signed a joint declaration establishing full diplomatic relations. For Israel, the move was driven by the urgent need to counter Houthi threats in the Red Sea and establish a strategic foothold across from Yemen. For Somaliland, it was the breakthrough it had waited 34 years to achieve. The United States has not yet formally recognized Somaliland, but Washington is watching closely. Senior U.S. Africa Command officials have visited Hargeisa, evaluating Berbera's port and military potential. In a bold diplomatic move, Somaliland has offered the United States exclusive access to its mineral resources and military basing rights. A compelling offer as Washington seeks alternatives to its base in Djibouti, where China also operates a military facility just miles away. Somaliland's path forward is one of pragmatic diplomacy and strategic patience. Unable to wait for universal recognition, it has pursued what analysts call silent recognition, forging practical economic and security partnerships that integrate it into the global system. A Berbera axis has emerged, linking Somaliland with Ethiopia, the UAE, and Israel in a network of trade and security. Against it stands a Mogadishu axis of Somalia, Turkey, and Egypt, defending the principle of Somali unity. The world is watching to see which vision prevails. Somaliland is no longer just a breakaway region waiting to be noticed. It is a functioning democracy, a rising economic hub, and an indispensable strategic partner for the powers competing for influence in the Horn of Africa. After 34 years of building a nation in the shadows of international indifference, Somaliland's moment may finally have arrived. The question is no longer whether the world will recognize Somaliland, but whether it can afford not to.